All right. Now, I believe we are now also on YouTube. Okay, so now I got them both working, folks. That's a great thing right there. Because I did have a few things that I wanted to share with you guys as I'm talking. Leland Orser. So now I am also right here on YouTube live. I believe I am. It looks like I am. As far as I know, I am. How's that sound? But yeah, as far as I know, I'm on YouTube live. But great, great actor that we're about to talk about here. Let me just minimize some of this stuff real fast, everybody. I'm just trying to get some of this stuff out of my way, out of your way, out of everybody's way, basically. So that's what I'm going to do real quick. Get all this out of the way, out of the way. Okay. Now I've got a little extra room here. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. We'll check on that as we go. I can close that down. Okay. So, as I said, we're going to be talking Leland Orser. And for those who don't know, this gentleman right here is Leland Orser. Those of you who are catching this on YouTube, thank you. I know I have not done a show in a while, folks. It has been a good long while, but the last 2 weeks I've been back. And honestly, I'm really, really enjoying myself one more time. Talking about movies, before I had to kick my wife out of her room, I had to do that. Now I've got my own little room here. I got my own little space here now. The only thing that's in it is baby quails right now and other things. If you look behind me on the bottom here, that's an incubator with eggs in it. That's about the only other thing we've got going on right now. But otherwise, I do have my own little office here, which is great. I don't have to kick anyone out of any rooms anymore. As a matter of fact, they love when I do a show because they can use the big TV. So, all right, just cracking open a beer here, folks. As we know, I do like having a beer or two when I do these shows. But yeah, I did want to talk this actor, this guy, not just because he's been in 3 episodes of NYPD Blue. It's neither here nor there. I will say that. But the guy's an amazing actor. He really is. He can play a serious kind of douchebag, which he's in one episode of NYPD Blue playing that kind of douchebag. And then he's in a couple other episodes as this really, really scummy kind of, as they call him, skell or criminal. Even a crackhead, heroin addict in one of them. So it's he's just one of these very versatile actors. So I'm going to put his picture back up here real quick. There you go, Leland Orser. And I guess we can go ahead and talk. I'm going to go ahead and get into some things, and then I will get into the movies that he has done. And then this might not be a long one. I'll tell you the truth. When I tried to dive into this gentleman's life, to be honest with you, it's not. Him and his wife are very private about their private life. So I didn't get as much information as I was looking for. I did as much as I could, but I still really want to concentrate and focus on this actor just for his versatility, his range, the fact that he can just play anything. And, even, we're going to get into a lot of the movies he was in. I'm going to play a couple of things. He's one of those method actors that really gets into his role. So that's an even better thing. So before he was even an actor, though, folks, he had an extensive background in the theater before. So he was already in Hollywood. He kind of honed his acting skills on the theater stage. He started that at a young age, participated in many different productions, even studied at the Drama Studio London. So he was already into acting at a very young age. I guess a lot of people figured it was something that he was definitely going to get into. So obviously it was a good thing. So I did mention he was married. He is married. He's actually married to, let's go ahead and put up a picture of his wife. He's married to Jeanne. Jan Triplehorn, who has been in a ton of things. Actually, she's most noted for the Basic Instinct, the movie The Firm with Tom Cruise. She actually plays his wife in that movie, and she was in like 48 episodes of Criminal Minds as Alex. So that is what a lot of people know her from. Honestly, I know her from Criminal Minds and The Firm, but mostly from Criminal Minds because I mean, 48 episodes is a lot. They do have one son together, actually. Here's a picture of the family right here. The son over here on the right, the family. The son is named August, which makes total sense because his Leland Orser's birthday is August 6th, 2 days after my birthday. So his son's name is August, obviously named after the month his father was born. So there's just a few little things right there. Like I said, just a couple of little pictures of the family. Like I said, they're very, very private about their family life. They don't really want. It doesn't seem like their kids want to be involved in the acting, and it just seems like that they just want to kind of keep that part of their life private. You know what? I don't blame them. I'm sure a lot of actors wish they could have done that a long time ago. Let me take a little sip here, folks. So good. So good. But let's keep going here a little bit. So we did that. We're going to talk beyond that. And by the way, he's married Jeanne in the year 2000. They've been married ever since. Still married to this day. She actually was in his directorial debut film Morning in 2007. So they got to work together on that, and he directed that film. So there you go. And he's also done a few short films and stuff like that and a few things behind the camera, just kind of further his repertoire, if you will. But basically, he was born August 6th, 1960 in San Francisco, California. He attended the American Conservatory Theater in San Francisco, obviously studied drama, which is definitely where we see a lot of his acting skills come into play in a lot of the movies he's in. And when I start talking about some of the movies he's in, you're going to understand. You're going to be like, that guy. Oh, my God, that guy. Kind of started in the late 1980s with appearances on TV shows mostly. The Golden Girls, Cheers, Moonlighting. He was even in an episode of Married with Children. He played a commercial director. It was pretty good. But some of the films you're going to know him from is Seven. In Seven, we're going to come back to all these movies, by the way. In Seven, he was the unfortunate victim of Kevin Spacey's character. We'll talk about that the scene, everything, once we get to the movie. Saving Private Ryan, he was also in that movie. He was in Alien Resurrection. He was in all three of the Taken movies. So, sorry, I've got a dog barking outside. My dogs don't go outside very much. I just had to stop for a minute. I'm sorry about that. So he was in all three of the Taken movies with Liam Neeson. He actually, spoiler, he got shot in the last one, but he's okay. He's okay. He was on ER for a good long time as Dr. Lucian DeBanco. So that's one show you might know him from. Another huge show for him was Berlin Station. And he's also been on Ray Donovan. He's been on The Mentalist, Law & Order SVU, Revolution. Been in a ton of shows. But one of the things, like I said, he's mostly known for is his range and versatility. He's known for playing a wide range of characters, whether it's, like I said, that sympathetic character to a villain or to this intense character that he's really praised for in his work, is playing these in-depth, intense kind of characters. He's not usually the funny guy. I'm sorry for the dogs barking, everybody. He's not usually the funny guy. He's usually the serious guy. He's mostly a character actor, but he's definitely one of the more sought after character actors because of his ability to do what he does and play the characters he does and the way he gets into some of the characters. So that's I hate to tell y'all, this is going to be a short one, but that's pretty much really all I could dig into on his life. The fact that he did some theater before he did anything else, and that he has one kid, and that's really all I can dig up. So, okay, finally someone's out there trying to stop the dogs from barking. Yes. No? Yes? Maybe? Yes? No. Yeah, there's another dog outside. That's not good. I hope it's not attacking my animals. Anyhow, let's go ahead and get back to this. So I guess what we can do is go and get into some of the more notable movie roles of Leland Orser. Back to his wife. Anyone of the Boomer era, Jan Triplehorn, her father was Tom Triplehorn, the original guitar player for Gary Lewis and the Playboys. One of their most famous songs from 1965 was This Diamond Ring. So there's one little factoid that really means nothing, but anyway. Before I get into that, I'm going to play a little clip here of him and his wife were at a preview for the Berlin episodes. And basically, I'm going to go ahead and just play this little clip. This just kind of shows he has no clue who these people are. But it kind of shows that he's one of those kind of down to earth. I always say we need more Keanus. We need more good guys in this business. We need more of them. And Leland Orser seems like one of them. I've never heard a bad word said about him. I have never heard any scandals or anything like that with Leland Orser. He just seems like one of those really down to earth kind of guys. So let's go ahead and let this little interview rip.
Hi, can I snag you and ask you a couple of questions? Hi, we're the Beths, by the way.
Who are you?
The Beths.
The
Hi,
Beths?
Beths. The Beths.
The Beths.
We're both named Beth.
Hello,
It's
Beth and Beth.
It's very exciting to
Are
meet
you
you,
Beth as well?
This is Alex.
Hi, Alex.
So tonight's event is raising money for the education program here at the San Francisco Film Society. What were your favorite and least favorite subjects in school?
Math, not my favorite. Typing, not my favorite.
Typing?
Typing. We had typing, not my favorite. Math, I would say, wasn't my favorite. No.
Mr. Orser?
Favorites?
Your least, let's start with your least.
Let's start with my favorites.
Okay, all right.
PE and lunch, as my son would say.
Okay.
Least favorites. Oh, God. History, I guess. Very tough, but I love it now.
You do?
Yeah. Science, tough. English, loved. Math, loved.
You're my first math lover.
Loved it. And my son's very good at math as well. Yeah. Trigonometry, I loved. Algebra, I loved. Geometry, I loved.
You're learning so much this
I
evening.
had no idea.
I'm a numbers guy.
I'm a facilitator in these kinds of things.
Wow.
Help us.
All right, well, thanks for coming. Thanks for taking the time, guys. Have fun tonight.
No, didn't miss a beat. Odd question. When have you ever heard that question be asked to anybody? You probably have not. But he rolled with it. He just rolled with it, answered the question. Seems like a very smart guy. Anyone that enjoys math and all those classes is definitely a smarter gentleman, which I am not. I did not enjoy pretty much any of school. But, hey, what are you going to do, right? So, since we're going to have a little bit of time, I guess what we can do real quick is might as well talk a little bit about his wife too. I mean, there's not a ton of things to talk really about. I don't have any pictures for you, but again, she was in a TV movie in 1991, and then really got the movie role as Dr. Beth Garner in Basic Instinct. Went on to do the Ben Stiller Show. Within a couple years, 1993, she was actually in The Firm. Now, if anyone remembers, The Firm was actually a pretty big movie at the time with Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise was and is still a huge actor, but really was big back then. So, and she was in Reality Bites, uncredited, but she was in that movie. My daughter wanted me to do something. She was in Waterworld. I know that movie didn't do so well. But then she did a few more TV series, TV movie, a few more movies that I've honestly never heard of. Very Bad Things, Mickey Blue Eyes, heard of that one. But like I said, one of the main things I know her from was pretty far up there in her career was Criminal Minds. She did 48 episodes from 2012 to 2014. She was on there for 2 years, and that's really where I know her most from. But her career is very, very, very good. She has a ton of more movies than I thought she was on, even on Frasier for one episode, a couple episodes of Big Love in the beginning, 53 episodes of a show called Big Love that went from 2006 to 2011. She was Barb Hendrickson. So she's definitely done a lot of things. And the last thing it shows on here is a show called Exeter, Exeter. I might be saying that wrong. She played Colleen Clayton, a voice. And it's actually not a television show, folks. It's actually a podcast series that went from 2018 to 2023. So I really need to learn what the heck a podcast series is. But I'm assuming it's just like a listening TV show kind of thing. I don't know. I'll have to check that out. But I figured we would go ahead and mention that since I do have a little bit of time. But let's go ahead and talk Leland Orser. As I said, he did get his start on some television shows, like a lot of actors do. Gabriel's Fire was the first TV show in 1991. He got a little acting gig on. And then The Golden Girls, he was a waiter in one episode. Empty Nest, I don't know if anyone remembers that show. I do remember that show. I used to actually watch that show. Richard Mulligan was one of the actors on there. David Leisure, who, if you don't remember, was the Datsun guy or something like that. I think he was for Datsun or something like that. I forget who he was, but I think it was Datsun commercials. Christy McNichol, Estelle Getty was in. Marshall Warfield, who was in Night Court, was in it. Tons and tons of great actors in that show. I do remember that show. It was a long time ago, but he was a widowed pediatrician named Harry. He had two daughters, and they came back to live with him after both had failed marriage. It was pretty much a nightmare of a show. I know David Leisure was kind of like the playboy of the show. So, could you please not do that right now?
I'm watching the chairs.
All right. Anyway, folks. All right, I guess I'll just keep going here. But Empty Nest was definitely a show that I was watching back in these days in 1991. So anyway, let's keep going. He was in an episode of Cheers, L.A. Law. Then he ended up in a movie, 1993, called Cover Story, and a few other movies as we go. Also, so he keeps going in that, and then as we move up, he was on a TV series with 2 episodes, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and then we get to the movie Seven. Okay, then we definitely. Oh, I still have his wife's picture up there. Sorry about that, everybody. Then we get to the movie Seven. And here we are with that right there. There it is right there, the movie Seven. All right, sorry about that. The movie Seven. Now, you might be going, I know I've seen him. I kind of recognize that face in Seven. He was the guy in Seven that John Doe went into the sex club and made him do horrible things to the woman with basically a knife strap on. That is it. Now, he had a little prep for that movie. Now, if you look at this picture, his eyes are red. He looks like he hasn't slept. He's looks beat up. If you listen to the scene, he's almost hyperventilating. Well, here's how he prepared for that role. I'm just going to play this quick little clip for you.
I've got a fact about Seven that will leave you gasping. Leland Orser, who plays the unlucky victim in that infamous interrogation scene, took his preparation to a whole new level. How did he achieve that panic-stricken, hyperventilating look, you ask? Well, he did some serious hyperventilating of his own. That's right, Orser would rapidly breathe in and out, saturating his body with oxygen, just like an athlete preparing for a marathon. But that's not all. He also sacrificed some sleep to fully immerse himself in the role, giving himself the disoriented, sleep-deprived appearance. Now that's what I call dedication to the craft.
Okay, so there you go. Didn't sleep. First of all, was hyperventilating himself in this scene. But I guess when you're sitting in a room with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, I guess that's what happens. Obviously, that's what happens. So, hold on one second here, folks. Quick thing I'm doing here. Okay, here we go. So, there we go. So, he was in Seven. And like I said, I guess when you're in a room with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, you try to step it up a few notches. And I guess that was his way of doing it, was to get himself really into the character. But we also established he's that kind of guy that gets really into his characters. So that's also a good thing that I guess he's doing it that way. So that's pretty cool, though. But yeah, he definitely got into that character. Then we keep going a little bit. He was in a couple more TV series, Ned and Stacy, and then he was in one called Murder One, which actually, I'll tell you the truth, I actually watched that because it stars a gentleman named Daniel Benzali. And Daniel Benzali is actually, he played an attorney on, yes, NYPD Blue. So he played an attorney on there, and it was not the same character, but almost the same character. So there you go. Folks, just give me one. Just give me 1 second here. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that, folks. My daughter's in the background talking. It's just kind of throwing me off. I just told I had her grab the dog and go. So, okay, we are back. We are good. Not a problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and go. Like I was saying, he did that TV series called Murder One. Now, usually this series is on Hulu. If you do want to check this out. Murder One. It's actually a pretty good show. I think it only went 2 seasons. There was only 41 episodes, but a really good show. And it kind of follows one case over a full season. So it's one of those shows, but a very good show. most definitely. It was a Stephen Bochco show, who was one of the creators of NYPD Blue, so that's probably why the character was in there. I never understood why they didn't just keep the same character, but they didn't do that. So he did that show, a couple more TV shows. Piranha was a TV movie. Phoenix, Mad About You. Everyone loved that TV show. It was a big TV show. Boston Common, again, he was in Married with Children. He actually was in 3 episodes of Married with Children. You can actually, one of the episodes is right up on YouTube. When I was looking for things about him to talk about, one of those episodes is actually up there on YouTube. So he did that, and then he was in a movie called Red Ribbon Blues, which honestly I've never, ever seen. Let me check that out one more time here. Let me see what that is. No, I don't know. Actually, I don't know what this movie is. Never seen it, but Leland Orser is in it. But after that, he was in a little movie called Independence Day. I know y'all remember Independence Day. There he is. He wasn't in it very long. He was one of the med assistants, but he was in the Independence Day movie. That's right, the one from way back in the day, 1996. But yeah, he was he was in that little scene right there. I mean, that was a huge movie for he was still. Again, this guy is a character actor, mostly, and that's pretty much what he's known for. He was in Escape from L.A., he was known as Test Tube, he was in Lifeform, and now NYPD Blue. I do want to talk about this. I know I have a strange obsession with NYPD Blue, but that is not why I want to talk about him in NYPD Blue. He was in 3 different episodes. He played 3 different characters, as I said. He was in Season 1, Season 3, and Season 4. He was in the last episode. For some reason, he was in the last episode of 2 of his 3 appearances on NYPD Blue. First one was in the 2nd season, early on in the 2nd season. Actually, this was late in the 1st season. Excuse me. No. Yeah. 3rd. Couldn't have been 3rd season. Hold on here. Hold on. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. So this was season 1, episode 18. This was the end. This was the end of. Actually, this was the last episode. He was in the last episode of all 3 of the NYPD Blues. So. And he played Zeppo Marshansky. He was actually a gun for hire who ended up killing a man who was being questioned about a mafia hit. But I just want to show you his character right there. You see him, leather jacket, looking kind of scummy, layers of clothes on, which is kind of a 90s thing, but a New York 90s thing, most definitely. So that's the first one he played in. Then he goes to season 3, and in the last episode, he plays another skill named Les Treat. And here's that character right here, even scummier. Okay? And then we are back to another character that he plays in season 4, the last episode, and it's called John Highsmith. Now, this is where I say this guy has range. He came in, shaved head, and he was an annoying reporter who despised the NYPD, yet had to come in and report a crime with a British accent. So, and I couldn't find pictures of this on Google, so I decided to break out my own stash of NYPD Blue and pulled some pictures right there for you guys. So you're welcome. You're welcome for that. So as we keep going, but again, this guy was in 3 different episodes within 4 seasons of really, and was amazing in all of them. All memorable for me Again, that is one of my absolute favorite shows. But again, this guy just has played some characters from the crazy guy to the serious guy to the intense guy. He's all over the place with his acting skills. We keep going a little bit. I am skipping some stuff. I'm not getting into everything. So we're going to move on. He was also in one episode of Star Trek Voyager. Oh, yeah. There he is right there in Star Trek Voyager. No reason to keep that picture up there very long. But then he was in another big movie, which I'm not going to say it was really he was in Alien Resurrection. I'm sorry. He was in Alien Resurrection. I didn't pull pictures for that one. I apologize. But then he played Lieutenant DeWint in Saving Private Ryan. Now, I am ashamed to say I have never seen Saving Private Ryan. Absolutely ashamed to say it. I know it's supposed to be this great movie. I love all the characters in it. Well, I'm sorry, the actors in it. Hey, let me see here. Who's in it? I think Matt Damon is in it. Yeah, Matt Damon is in it. Tom Hanks, Tom Sizemore. Like Tom Sizemore. Tom Sizemore. Is he alive? I think he passed away. Yeah, he did last year. Man, lost some good ones last year. Lost some great ones this year, by the way. All right, Tom Hanks, Matt Damon, Barry Pepper. I like Barry Pepper. Giovanni Ribisi. Vin Diesel. Oh, Paul Giamatti. You know what? Dennis Farina, the late Dennis Farina. All right, I'll fucking watch it tonight. Damn it. I will watch Saving Private Ryan tonight. That's what I'll do. Never seen it. Ashamed to say that I've never seen it, but I have never, ever seen Saving Private Ryan, and I apologize for that, folks. But anyway, that was his picture right there from Saving Private Ryan. We can go ahead and get that out of there. Now, went on to do a couple other things after that. Very Bad Things, another pretty decently well-received movie. Another TV series. And then he went in 1999. He was in another great movie with Denzel Washington and Angelina Jolie. Actually, it had Ed O'Neill in it too. It had a pretty good cast of characters. Michael Rook. A lot of characters were in that movie. But basically, this guy played the antagonist. He was this good guy named Richard who ended up being someone else and actually tried to kill Denzel Washington's character, Lincoln Rhymes, in this movie. So, you know, yeah, he killed Queen Latifah, the son of a bitch, in the movie. So, yeah. But this was honestly, another great part where, you know, in the beginning of the movie, he gets to play this kind of jovial, joking around med tech kind of character where he's happy and blah, blah. And then by the end of the movie, he is literally doing everything he can to kill Denzel Washington's character. So just the guy can do anything. And I mean, he has to really, you want to talk about intense. If you watch this movie, you got to remember that Denzel Washington's character can only move one finger. He's paralyzed. He can move a finger. And that's really about it. So it's a pretty, and he can move his neck, I believe. His neck and finger. That's about it. So pretty great movie, though, when you watch it. And, I mean, like I said, great cast in that movie of a lot of different characters. We move on a little bit, though, folks, and we go to the Pretender TV series, Wonderland. Then another, you guys want to talk about another huge movie. He was in Pearl Harbor. He was not in Pearl Harbor for a very long time, but he was in the movie Pearl Harbor as Major Jackson. I got that picture right there for you. Again, in the late 90s, early 2000s, Leland Orser showed up as a character actor in almost fucking everything. Almost fucking everything. He showed up as a character actor. Not a huge character, not a starring role. I don't think he's ever really had a starring role, but he's always there. He always plays usually a character that is pivotal to the story in some way or another. You may not find out his character is very pivotal until later in the movie, but his character is always there for a reason. It's usually not just no reason, but Pearl Harbor was another gigantic box office hit. Ben Affleck, Kate Beckinsale, Josh Hartnett, on and on and on. William Lee Scott was in the movie. Ewan Brimmer, y'all know who he is. Alec Baldwin, John Voight, Cuba Gooding Jr., Michael Shannon. My God. Whew. Excellent, excellent movie. And it was one of those long movies, but everyone loved this movie. But I mean, it was 3 hours and 3 minutes long, but everyone seemed to love it. It did great in the theaters at the time. Honestly, the IMDb rating is not that good on the movie. I guess people watch it now and are like, what a piece of shit. 3 fucking hours. I guess. I don't know. He did a couple more TV movies, did some TV shows, CSI Crime Investigation, but ended up in 2003 playing Wesley Owen Welch in the Daredevil movie, which was Ben Affleck, Jennifer Garner, Colin Farrell, all in that movie. And there he was right there. There's the picture of him right there. So he was in that movie also. Another one, though, I not that I haven't seen it. It has been a long time since I have seen it. A very, very long time since I've seen this movie. But I don't know if I have it or not. I need to check. If not, I need to get it. I need to get this movie. It's definitely one I want to check out again. It's been a long time since I've seen this movie, so check that out a little bit later. But let's go ahead and take that picture down. And we're moving along. As we said, we go into a few more things. Law & Order SVU, of course. Star Trek Enterprise. He was on one episode. We already did one Star Trek Voyager. Now we go to Star Trek Enterprise in 2001. There he is right there. And as I said, he was in all 3 of the Taken movies. His character's name was Sam. So, there you go, right there on the Taken movies. Those are really good movies. At one point, you can say that, man, this guy just can't take care of his family. Everyone keeps getting fucking kidnapped. And I've said that myself. But they're actually very good movies, good action movies. I got to be honest with you. I really enjoy Liam Neeson as an action star. As an older action star, he's believable as this retired type of badass that you would see. He's very believable, Liam Neeson, in these roles. And, you know, again, Sam isn't exactly the, he's more the tech guy than the badass in the group. So it's what he does. And, you know, it's definitely, though, a good movie. All 3 of them are good. The first one is probably the best. The third one is a little out there, but the first one and the second one are pretty good. The first one, I think, is the best of those movies right there, though. But definitely some good ones. Then he goes on, he does a few more things. After Taken, he did ER. Again, 61 episodes of ER, so he was in that show as Dr. Lucian DeBenko for a long time, 04 to 09. And then he was in Law & Order Criminal Intent, 24, again, 4 episodes of 24, did a couple more movies here and there. Then he was in a movie called Revolution, Magic City, Guest, and then he was also, we'll go all the way up to 2014, the same year Taken 3 came out, and he was in a movie called The Gambler with Mark Wahlberg. Another one I haven't seen, it is in my Mark Wahlberg folder to check out because I do want to check that movie out. So I will at some point check that movie out. Then in 2015, he did a movie. I was actually supposed to watch this today. I did not. Stupid me. I just didn't have time. Did a movie, though, that Smark was raving about called The Devil's Candy. Smark said it was a pretty decent horror flick. So definitely I need to check that out. That is, I do have it. It is on my list, and I will be checking this out, The Devil's Candy. Smark definitely recommended it, said it was a pretty good film. It's got Pruitt Taylor Vince in it. Okay, he was in Identity. Tony Amanalda, I know who he is. I just can't pronounce his name. All right, this is definitely worth a watch. I will check this movie out also, The Devil's Candy, and we'll go from there. Few more things. He was also in Ray Donovan, the TV show. I believe that's a Liv Schreiber TV show. He was in 10 episodes as Father Romero. Liv Schreiber is another great actor who doesn't do enough acting. It's just amazing what he does, but great actor on him too. But yeah, he was in 10 episodes of that show. And then a couple years after that, he did a show called Berlin Station. Now, it was a TV series. He did 29 episodes from 2016 to 2019. This show follows a CIA team in Berlin and just kind of goes through their day-to-day activities as, throughout. I had never heard of this show, but it's something I want to check out because I am looking at it, and it looks like my kind of show, most definitely. You've got Leland Orser in it. You've got, I can't pronounce this guy's name, Rice Ifans. He was the kicker in the Replacement movie, the guy from, I believe, Scotland. Ashley Judd is in this show. John Doman is in this show. Wow. Yeah, this is a show I definitely need to check out. This looks like it's right up my alley, following CIA, police, any kind of things like that, spies and stuff. I will definitely be checking this one out. But it was a pretty big show, I guess. So I'll definitely be checking it out. Did a few more things. The last thing he was in was a TV series called Blind Spotting from 2021 to 2023. He was only in 3 episodes of it. I believe it's on Stars. It's one of their specials, special shows. Not special shows, exclusive shows. That's what I mean. I have never actually seen it, but I'll be honest with you, folks. I really wish I could have got more in depth with Leland Orser, but like I said, he is one of those guys that just kind of keeps to himself. Doesn't really get out there and do a lot. So I got as much information in the beginning as I could. But that's really about all I can get that I found. I mean, he's 5'8.5", if you want to know that. There's another thing. But this is a guy most known for playing deranged, intense characters like in The Bone Collector, like in Alien Resurrection, like in Seven and a lot of those shows. But I really thought this was one of the character actors. As I've said before, I love doing these character actors. These guys that you see, you've seen their character, you've seen their face. You may not even know their name, but you definitely have seen this guy's face in a movie you've watched, in a TV show you've watched. He's got a pretty distinct voice also, so you might have even heard his voice. But more than likely, you have seen Leland Orser. You have definitely seen him in something that you have watched. And that's really it, folks. I don't want to drag this out. I don't want to sit here and make this a long show. Close to an hour, 50 minutes. I think that's a good one right there. But I appreciate y'all joining me. Next week, I am more than likely going to be joined by Cheeseman, possibly Smark also. Not 100% sure what we're doing. He gave me a list of, I believe, 3 movies. The Crow. We may actually redo Dazed and Confused. That is the show that Anthony decided to take a little naparoo on. So we may redo that one, kind of update it. I think that was like 2017 when we did that. So that's been definitely long enough to do an updated show. So we're going to figure out a few movies, but I thought we had talked The Crow. I love that movie, and for some reason, me and Anthony have never done that movie. Or it didn't upload, but I don't remember ever doing that movie, but it is one of my favorites. I really thought we had done it. Maybe I'll check YouTube, make sure I didn't just do it on YouTube. But I mean, I know I've talked about it, talking about the Warriors when I talked about David Patrick Kelly, because he's in that movie. So I'll be doing something, but more than likely right back here, 8:30 p.m., 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 Central, my time. But that's it for Leland Orser, folks. I appreciate everybody. Once again, I know I took a little time off, and I appreciate everybody coming out and listening, downloading. I know it's going to take a while to get back in the swing of things, but I really do appreciate everybody giving me another chance to do this show. I've been happy with the downloads so far, so I'm really glad everybody's doing it. Had a good feedback so far for starting it back up, and I started back up with a great way. I actually, when Anthony decided to hit me up, and I was glad we got to do that. I was really glad we got to do that. So, all right, everybody, I see I'm actually dropping frames. I appreciate it once again. And I will be talking to you guys next week. And you're always welcome to join me over on Thursday nights over on YouTube for Wrestling Outlet. It is just, you go on YouTube, search Wrestling Outlet, you will find it. We are on the same time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time right there, and you can check it out anytime you want. It's also, you can download that show on any of the podcast places you get them. So,